you know that I enjoy a very satirical sense of humor. I have many senses of humor. They run from here to here. When I was in seminary, this was the first quarter of seminary, and I swore I had been involved in student government all my life in high school and college, and I was at a whole bunch of meetings that were kind of like student government. I practiced law, and I had a management company, and the management company I sat in more board meetings than you can shake a stick at. And I was the management agent to help, and it was kind of like being student council president. So I swore that when I went to seminary, no more student government for me. Well, here's what happened. After the first term, we get our report cards, and what we had seen is that the administration had asked the faculty to give us 2 grades, 2. One for academics, the second for consciousness. Our class said, "What? Really? You're going to grade our consciousness numerically?" We didn't think that was very kosher. And so we decided to act to change the policy, and I was elected to be one of those to help make that change. Well, there was a student meeting about this topic, and sometime during the student meeting, I made an offhand remark. You always got to watch your offhand remark. I made an offhand remark. I would never take this back, by the way. That, well, I said to everybody, if they don't see our point of view, we may all be going to hell. Well, one of my classmates leapt out of her chair, and she yelled, "Cancel, cancel!" As if what I said could make it so. I gently reminded her, we don't even believe in hell. In Unity, we have another view, another understanding of the law of attraction. And it goes like this. It's also called the law of mind action. And it says that the predominant, persistent thoughts you hold in mind will reproduce after their kind. The classic affirmation is, thoughts in mind produce after their kind. Will you say that with me? Thoughts in mind produce after their kind. The law does not say thoughts held in mind produce the circumstances and conditions of your life. It doesn't say that. It says the thoughts you persistently, predominantly hold in mind produce after their kind. They produce like thoughts. What this says is that we are the creators of our own experience of life. I want to say this again, it's really important, at least to me. We are the creators of our own experience of life. We do not, this is my belief, and I invite you to test it out for yourself. Test it out on a daily basis, every day if you want to. We are not the creators of the circumstances and conditions of our life. And the difference between these two perspectives is substantial and deeply significant. This is Linda's book. She writes this: a common interpretation of the law of attraction would lead us to believe that a young child displaying signs of autism somehow attracted the condition by hanging around negativity. That, or she made a soul contract before incarnating. Another explanation that helps us feel better about unhappy circumstances. It would have us believe that people in our world suffering from hunger and homelessness brought these conditions on themselves. And she ends the paragraph with the word preposterous. I agree. Divine life does not happen to us. It happens through us. That difference in understanding is significant. I have a friend of over 30 years who about 10 years ago severely broke his leg when he was going down. He was training for a bike race. He was going downhill at quite a clip and on a gravel trail, and he went off the bike. And the bone was coming through the skin. But when I reached him at the hospital to ask him how he was doing, he said, "I'm okay." He said, my leg is broken. It hurts a lot. And I'm doing okay. I'm good. This friend walks the spiritual path. He lives our principles as well as any human being I have ever met in my life. 4 years ago, a very friendly and highly trusted office manager in his company was discovered to have embezzled $200,000 over a period of 12 years. And for the prior 2 years, hadn't sent any payroll taxes to the IRS. The very definition of fun. In recounting this entire situation to me, my friend said, yes, all of those things happened. And I'm good. I'm having a good day. My friend was not in denial of any of the circumstances in his life. He was not denying any of the conditions of his life. Nor was he entranced by them. Nor was he enmeshed in them. And he wasn't saying that this experience that he was going through was good. Be very clear on that. He wasn't saying, this was good. I'm glad this happened. What he was saying is, all this happened, and I'm good. I'm good. Or, in the formal spiritual way, I am good. Would you share that with me? I am good. No matter what your circumstances and conditions, say it again. I am good. Center it in your heart. Say it one more time. I am good. Throughout all these experiences, never once have I heard my friends say, why did this happen? Not once. There are many people hurting in Colorado and beyond today because of those events, and our prayers will help. And in the midst of all of this, as I listen to media reports, the predominant question that I hear is, why? Why did this happen? I don't know that we will ever have a satisfactory answer to that question. Now, I knew I was going to share this statement with you this morning as I was getting ready to come. I was having breakfast. I heard another minister being interviewed on the radio, and he said the same thing, the same exact thing. When something bad or horrible happens, rather than asking why, which is relegated to the past, isn't a better, truer question to ask, how will I respond? How will I respond is empowered in the now, has the power of now, not the baggage, the empoweredness of the past. In the past, there's no power in it. All the power is right now. Let me ask, does an outdoor light attract moths? What do you think? You think so? No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think there is anything in the consciousness of the light that's saying, yo, moth, over here. I think the moth was attracted to the light. It looks to us like, yeah, there's a light there, it attracts the moth. I don't think so. I mean, if you have something better, share it with me after service, because I want to know. There's a story. It's a deeply personal story. It's a pretty good story. I've shared it before. I'm going to share it very briefly now. Many of you have heard it. It happened 9 years ago, and I was in a Barnes & Noble's bookstore, and while I was in that bookstore, a book called to me from 25 feet away. And in this book, there was a story about a male attorney, my age, who wanted to become a Unity minister. This story was a pivotal moment in confirming my path to ministry, let me tell you. It wasn't the only one, but it was pretty big. And my experience was that that book called to me. Now, in spiritual truth, I don't think that's what happened. In truth, I believe it was the consciousness in me. It was the awareness in me. It was the intention in me that attracted me to that book. Even though I experienced it as being called by the book, it was what was in me that drew me to it. And trust me, this perspective on what happened, if you want to call it a miracle, fine. I won't debate that. This perspective that it's what was in me that attracted me to it does not diminish the awe and majesty that surrounds this experience for me and always will. It was one of the most profound experiences of my life. And I think it came through me. Dr. Paul Hasselback at Unity Institute teaches, we do not attract negative conditions and circumstances into our life. Conditions do not come looking for us. We go looking for them. When we are steeped in a consciousness of negativity, we get attracted to negativity. And again, test this for yourself. Test it for yourself. Confirm it for yourself as many times as you need to. The more that we think on the positive things, the good thing, the truth. Now, I'm not talking about the human facts. I'm talking about spiritual truth. We ground ourselves in the knowledge of spiritual wholeness, spiritual truth, to the point that it sets up a vibration within us. It changes us from the inside out. The more we do that, the more you and I are attracted to increasing levels of good. Now, what do I mean when I say good? What is good?
Spirit.
This is my understanding. In the world, there are lower vibrational patterns and higher vibrational patterns and everything in between. And the lower vibrations we call unworthiness, hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness.